agreement with the Quran.
So it's just been added?
No, not been added.
Right.
It's neutral, right? You have
neutral position.
You have certain statements of the Prophet
Right.
that does not necessarily contradict, right? Or in line with the Quranic verses, right? You have a hadith like that.
Yeah.
Do you accept that type of a hadith or not, right?
Okay.
Or do you only accept, as you said, the ones that are in agreement with the Quran? Now we can.
Okay, so going back to your original point, like I said, I don't want to skip what you said.
Yeah, that's fine.
What you're saying, it's where my statement is rendered useless. Where if there are hadith that I don't need, that is not saying the same thing as the Quran.
No, I'm saying if the
That's
hadith.
useless. I didn't. Wait a second.
Do you understand my point? I'm
Yes,
saying
but
if the
because
hadith.
you carried on, I kept listening to you and I forgot your original point.
I repeat it for you.
Right.
I'm saying if the hadith is saying the same thing as the Quran,
right,
then I don't need the hadith because the Quran is there already telling me the point.
Let's pause there.
Okay,
right.
yeah.
So let's say this brother is a Christian, or he's no religion. He's an atheist and he has no idea. Then he reads something. One day he opens a book and then it's the Quran, and to him it's nothing. It's just a book. He doesn't believe. He doesn't believe in God. And he reads something in the Baqarah. It talks about the cow when Moses came down from the mountain, and the people of the Bani Israel, they said, we need proof that you are from Allah. Show us what kind of cow is. And he had to explain the cow.
He didn't say show us proof that you are from Allah.
They needed proof. That's the only way they sacrifice.
They didn't ask for proof.
That's the only reason they sacrifice.
I think you're talking about the verse without understanding the verse.
What I'm trying to say.
Do you remember the verse?
Let me just kind of give you the context, and then we'll come back.
But before you make claims about the Quran, you need to be accurate, you know? If you're claiming the Quran, I've said something, you have to be accurate there. I'm telling you the Quran doesn't say what you said. Musa said to his people...
In Baqarah...
I'm talking about Baqarah.
Yes, no, I'm not sure
exactly. I'll give you the beginning now. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. When Moses told these people, I'll give you the context, I'll give you everything, don't worry.
No, but going back to the point.
No, because
I need to make this point.
Okay, so retract the other statement and then we can move on.
Right, the point was, if there was a hadith or if there is a teaching that tries to teach this brother, sorry, I'm not using it as an example, I'm just trying to explain something. If that hadith explains this verse to this brother and that makes that brother closer to the Sirat al-Mustaqim, what's wrong with that hadith? There is nothing, in fact, it is light and guidance. And actually, what Allah says in the Quran, do righteous deeds. Righteousness. What is righteousness? It's making someone, helping them go onto Sirat al-Mustaqim.
But you're not getting my point, my brother.
No, but you're saying it's useless. It's not useless.
You're not getting the point. I'm saying your statement is useless, not the hadith is useless. I'm saying if you say the hadith is already telling me the same thing the Quran is telling me, why do I need the hadith if the Quran is already there?
If it explains,
I'll give you an example.
Right, if it explains,
if the Quran is saying in chapter 112, say Allah is uniquely one, and I have a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said Allah Azza wa Jal is one. He doesn't have another, for example. He doesn't have a second. For example, that hadith to me, I don't need it because the Quran is there already. So when you say to me, I accept hadith that are in line with the Quran, in essence, you're saying I don't accept hadith, I only accept the Quran because they are in line with the Quran. That's my criteria.
No, you've misunderstood. The reason why I say I reject some hadith is because men are infallible. Men are fallible. Okay. We write things with our own hands.
Was the Prophet fallible?
Sorry?
Was the Prophet fallible?
No, he's Rasulullah.
So he's not fallible?
He is not fallible.
Okay.
The Rasul is not fallible. And hold on. The reason why we have to be cautious of things that we read is because A, because of politics, and B, because of the greed of men. We don't know. None of us here know.
Can I understand your argument? Your argument is, I reject some hadith because men are fallible, correct? Am I representing you correctly?
Part of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not exactly.
Am I representing you correctly? Right?
Yes,
Okay. Why do you accept the Quran? Men are fallible. Why do you accept the Quran?
You can just stop laughing. We're talking about Allah. You cannot.
Don't be worried about people arguing. Be worried about yourself, right? I'm not laughing, am I? I'm just asking you a question. If hadith, as you said, you reject some of it because men are fallible, I'm now holding you to your own criteria. Be consistent. Why do you not reject a part of the Quran?
Why do you want to reject the Quran?
No, a part of the Quran because men are fallible. Maybe there's a mistake there as well.
No, because this is divine revelation.
How do you know that?
Allah tells us.
How do you know Allah told you? These men that brought you the scripture are the only reason you think Allah told you anything.
Because nothing has been added into the Quran.
How do you know?
I have faith.
You have faith?
Yes.
So now you're saying
I have faith in the words of Allah.
So now you have blind faith.
No, it's not blind. It's not blind.
So here's the evidence.
Okay, there's the evidence. Apart from the Quran, where else does it say believe only in God and what God has revealed? It says it in the Torah. It says it in Zabur. Where King David is saying.
Because talking about preservation of the Quran now. You said to me you believe in the preservation of the Quran.
If you believe
can you give me evidences for you as yourself? What's your name?
Dawan.
Dawan?
Dawan.
So Dawan, I'm asking you for evidence now, holding you to your criteria. Men al-fallible, men brought the Quran to us. You have never met the Prophet in your life, neither have I, right? So the men that brought you the Quran are also the men who brought you the Hadith. If they are fallible and they will make a mistake in the Hadith, they can be fallible and make a mistake in the Quran. Right. So now this is a consistent argument, consistent criteria. Now please enlighten me. On what basis do you accept that the Quran is preserved?
Okay, so you made an assumption, which is an assumption only.
Tell me which assumption.
It is not a fact. Where you're saying the same men that brought us the Hadith are the same men that brought us the Quran.
Who brought you the Quran?
Let me finish, because I was respectful.
He's talking about the assumption.
Yes, you made an assumption. It is only an assumption.
Okay.
Because back then, we're talking 1400 years ago, there were no computers. There was no point of fact evidence. The only thing we have is the most plausible route, right? If it's the most plausible, that's it. Which is narration, as it was passed down from generation to generation. Well, that's the only thing. There is nothing else. Unless there's an alien who decided to have a
Can you tell me one chain of Quranic transmission?
Chain? What do you mean?
That narration you're talking about, it's called a chain of transmission, yeah?
Right.
Where you have men in the chain narrating from one another to us, yeah? Okay. Now, you don't know any chain of narration. I know that. Leave now. Please don't use terms you don't understand. Please.
No, I don't understand.
I know.
I'm trying to see if that's...
I understand, but I'm not talking about mutawatir. I'm telling you right now, there's a transmission and there is a chain. There is a men in the chain, correct? You do not know a single chain of narration of the Quranic revelation, right? These narrations, the men in the narration are the same men who are transmitting the Hadith. So it's not an assumption. It is a fact that the same people who brought to you the Quran are the same people who brought to you the Hadith. Now, repeating my question again, on what basis you accept the Quran even though it's coming from the same source, and you reject the part of the Hadith claiming that men are fallible, but not applying your consistent criteria with the Quran? I'll tell you something, I'll be nice with you. Look, the end of Hadith rejection is Quran rejection. That's how things work. No one can be in his right mind.
Somebody else mentioned this as well. Let me respond.
I'm giving you evidence now.
You're making multiple points, and when I'm thinking about
which one I made my one point.
No, you're making multiple things that I want to agree with, but you keep changing your point, and I want to address them.
The one point.
You keep changing. I'm respectful. I let you talk.
Address only one point, which is I'm dealing with, which is that the people who brought you the Quran, the same people who brought you the Hadith, you reject them based on the men. It's the same point we've been discussing for a while now. No other points.
Okay, I'll go back to what I said. It is an assumption you are making. Not just you, but our forefathers. The religion of our forefathers tells us that the narrations that you're saying, for example, I have no knowledge of the science of Hadith. It's true. Why? Because what's important, Allah says, I have not left anything out of the Quran. As in,
where did Allah say that?
When it's a complete book. This is a complete book.
No, you said, Allah said, I have not left anything except the Quran.
No, outside of it. As in nothing left.
I have not left anything outside the Quran.
You can't quote me word for word.
No, bro, if you say Allah said...
You can't quote me word for word, because I'm not here as a... I don't have my report. I don't have a report. I'm trying to
I'll tell you something important now. You're getting angry because I'm quoting you word for word, right? Imagine you quoting Allah Azza wa Jal wrongly. How would Allah be okay with that? Now, if you're quoting Allah Azza wa Jal, I have the same standard.
Explain something to this brother
in
a different way so he understands.
My brother,
even though it's not word for word.
This is the second time I correct you regarding Quranic verses. The first was about Musa. You made a wrong claim about what
it's
happened.
It's not wrong at all. No. The people, when Musa was on the mountain, the people asked him for evidence to show that Allah was actually communicating, and they wanted to know the cow. You know when they were asking for what type of cow this is?
No,
is this not incorrect?
No, you said
is this incorrect?
They did ask what type of cow it is, but you didn't say that. Go back, it's on camera. Look, I'll tell you the thing about camera. People cannot run away and escape their points. Yeah, you made the point.
What do you think I said?
You will see on camera what you said.
No, I said the same thing.
Can I repeat?
Can I
repeat?
Yeah.
Okay. You said that they were asking Musa when he came from the mountain, Musa alayhi salam. You said they were asking him for evidence, right? They were not asking him for any evidence. The story goes as Musa alayhi salam is the one who's telling his people. Musa alayhi salam, in the beginning of the scripture, he goes, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. Allah is saying, when Musa said to his people, Allah commands you to slaughter a cow.
Yes.
Then they said, are you taking... So there was no evidence he's coming down, they're asking for evidence. It was Musa alayhi salam giving them a command, and then they were inquisitive and inquiring what type of cow it is. Now, so that's the first mistake you did. Second mistake
is... why is that important? As
it's important because it's the Quran.
No, brother,
I want to quote it properly. It's not the same message.
You're stepping above, but it's the same message. No, it's not incorrect. What I said is not incorrect.
It is because
they wanted to be sure.
No, my brother,
the people needed to be sure.
Let's not go around ourselves. You said he came from the mountain, they were asking him for evidence. That's how you're saying the story goes. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, didn't go this way, therefore it's a mistake. I'm saying if you quote Allah, if you quote the Quran, which you claim that to hold on to, at least quote it properly. That's the only thing I'm asking you to do.
Yeah, but the way
if you don't know, open the Quran and read.
The way you're saying it is if I said something completely different. If this is blue and I said it's red.
You did.
This is not red. I did not say this is red.
You did say something different.
No. It's the same thing. But they wanted to be sure, make it clear to us what kind of cow it is.
If I come to
so then he started to make clear. Now, why?
No. You made a claim.
You're not letting me speak, and I'm trying to make it clear to you.
I am listening.
I sat down. I stood respectfully listening to you, and I was trying to think about the points you were making.
As well. You're speaking. You're not silent.
If Allah brings down a book through a messenger, through a Rasul, this book is for humanity. Why? To bring us out of darkness. As in, don't quote me word for word. Think about it. Use your reason, as Allah instructs in the book. Use your reason. Use your intellect. If we are in darkness about something, Allah sends this book to bring us out of darkness.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's in the Quran. I agree with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, why is the Quran not enough? Not just the Quran, but we've got, for example, Zabur, we've got the Injil, and the Torah. Why is that not enough?
Okay. Now the answer,
apart from the fact that it might have been changed, because some other brothers said because it says those who
I'll tell you something. Woe
to them. But
something about people who reject Hadith, right? They try to play around the point, right? I will easily 100% answer your question, which you were saying why is it not enough? When you answer the question that you avoided, on what basis of your criteria do you reject some hadith claiming that men are infallible or fallible, and you accept the Quran even though it's also by men, even if it's not the same men, because you're holding on to that point. I'll give you that point. Let's not say it's the same men. Let's say it's also coming from men, or men are fallible. That's your criteria. On what basis do you accept something which came from fallible men, and you reject something else on the same basis that is coming from fallible men?
Okay.
Then I will answer your question gladly.
Again, I think you're misquoting or you've misunderstood me. What I'm trying to say is, if a certain hadith, or if I'm explaining something, so a hadith is an explanation, right? It's trying to teach us wisdom, hikmah, as some of the other brothers were trying to allude to. It's something that is trying to teach us something apparently that we didn't know already, right? So, if I am trying to teach somebody who is not learned, somebody who does not know the way, and I have learned it from the Quran, and I'm teaching that person in a form of a hadith what I have learned from the Quran, that is a pure hadith. That is because I'm not doing anything different. I'm not doing word for word, but it's like teaching physics first time to a year 7 who has no idea what physics is. You are introducing them to it. But the ultimate aim is for them to be on the right path. Therefore, that is not bad. But when you start doing things that have nothing to do with the Sirat al-Mustaqim, what's the point? Like you go back to you, there's no point.
Okay. Yeah. You haven't answered my question. So again, not asking you to go around the point. You've told me that the hadith is an explanation of the wisdom, something that elaborates on the Quran. It's not related to what I asked. My question was, on what basis you accept something? Oh look, I'm making it clear. This is the fourth time. I know you don't have an answer. We can move on. If you say I don't have an answer,
to listen.
So
you're choosing.
So what is the answer you're giving me? Yeah, tell me. On what basis do you accept the Quran is preserved, even though it's coming from men which are fallible?
So, okay, the question you're asking me, how do I know the Quran is definitely preserved?
No, I'm saying you reject the hadith.
No, but you just said, on what basis do I...
Just let me finish the statement, right?
Yeah.
You said you reject the hadith based that men are fallible.
Yes.
That was your reasoning, right?
Men are fallible.
I said to be consistent, you have to also reject the Quran or a part of the Quran like you reject a part of the hadith, because men are fallible and men brought it to you. Now, again, asking the question, on what basis do you reject one and accept the other? That's my question.
Quran as divine. No, there is an answer. You're rushing.
I'm not rushing.
Okay, because what you're saying is what you're saying is I have to choose one or the other, or not choose any of them.
Yes.
When originally,
I am saying that.
Originally, there should be no choice. Originally, it says in the Quran there is only divine revelation. That is the only.
Where does it say that?
No, what I'm trying to teach you, sir, the Quran teaches
Teach me, where does it say in the
revelation.
Quran? Where does it say in the Quran?
When it says only
there is only divine revelation. No, you said the Quran says there is only divine revelation. Where does it say
the
that?
Quran teaches divine revelation. When it talks about the Torah, when it talks about the
again, I told you quote the Quran properly, yeah, because I'm not gonna let you just
I
quote the
came here
Quran.
to talk to people. Everybody put these cameras on me. Nobody asked my permission to be recorded. I don't know why everybody.
You were happy speaking with the other brothers. I don't know what happened now.
I've been talking for 2 hours, and I'm being labelled with things that I'm not. For example, I am not a Hadith rejector. I'm not.
Did I ask you in the beginning? Did I ask you, are you, or did I label you?
No, you did ask.
Okay, so let's not talk about other people. Let's talk about Isaac. You have a conversation with me.
Clear.
Okay, let's come back.
Labels that.
Sure, let's come back to my discussion. Clearly, you don't have an answer, so I'll make it easy for you. I'll let it go. I'll let this point go. Now let me ask a question now.
I answered that. You're not choosing.
I'll let the viewers decide. Okay, now let me ask this question now.
Right.
Do you believe there is any revelation? Because you said the Quran is the only revelation. That's what you just said. Do you believe?
No, I said there's 4 revelation which Quran.
No, leave the other books. I'm not talking about the other books.
Why are you leaving?
I'll tell you. I'll explain to you. Because we're discussing Hadith now. We're not talking about the previous scriptures. I'm saying, do you believe the Prophet Muhammad? Leave now the other prophets, yeah? Do you believe the Prophet Muhammad received any other revelation other than the Quran? Or do you believe, as you said to me, the Hadith was an explanation that the Prophet ﷺ was given? He looked at the Hadith, right? And he was explaining the Hadith as he thought his wisdom, right? Do you believe there was revelation on the Prophet ﷺ other than the Quran? We believe, yeah?
At the same time.
Ahl Sunnah believe.
At the same time as the Quran was being revealed. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
I just want to understand.
Yes. Ahl Sunnah believe that there is 2 types of revelation. One is the Quran and one is the Hadith. That's what we believe. I'm asking you right now. Okay. Do you believe there is other revelation other than the Quran?
At that time, no.
So you believe there was no other revelation?
At that time, the only divine.
At that time, I'm asking at that time.
So we're not talking about before the Prophet.
The time of the Prophet. Time of the Prophet, yes.
The only thing that was revealed to the Prophet was the Quran. And through the angel Gabriel.
Okay. Was there any other revelation revealed on the Prophet until he died, or only the Quran?
As far as I'm aware, I've read the Quran 4 times. I read it very regularly.
Look like it, but yeah.
I read it very regularly.
Okay.
You can make derogatory comments. This
no,
is
it's
fine.
the truth. That's what I'm saying.
We've got a laugher in the background.
It's what I'm seeing from you. Go ahead.
No, I don't believe that there is other than the Quran.
Okay.
There is the wisdom.
Okay.
But the wisdom is only taught by Allah. This is gifted by Allah, just the way it's gifted to the Prophet.
Okay.
When it was gifted, it was gifted by Allah. Men cannot.
But it's not a revelation.
Sorry?
It's not a revelation. He has to follow it.
Understanding of the verse.
Okay, so it's the Prophet understanding.
Right.
Okay, now you just dig yourself a hole. I'll tell you.
No, you see.
I'll tell you why.
Statements.
Let me tell you why.
Brother, these statements, you cannot make these statements because
I can. I just did.
No.
But let me just tell you why.
You're swaying the argument in a way it's not meant to be.
You can tell me, oh, it's not a hole after I show you the hole, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the hole. Now you said to me.
I didn't realize we were in a circus. I really didn't.
Okay,
I thought this was a discussion about Allah.
How many times have I laughed since our conversation?
It's not about you. It's about the people that support you.
You're concerned about other people,
because
man. I don't know these people, man. I never met them in my life.
You are with cameras.
No, I never met these people in my life. You met them the first time. You met me the first time.
I'm not the one with all the,
Let's just come back to the hole. Let's go back to the hole. Let's go back to your hole.
Okay, let's go back to the hole.
Now, the Quran says that Allah Azza wa Jal commanded the Prophet ﷺ, right? There was a previous command to the people to direct themselves to Masjid al-Aqsa in the Quran. Now that command does not exist in the Quran. Yeah? There's a previous command before Allah tells now turn your face into Mecca. There was a previous command to face al-Masjid al-Aqsa. That previous command does not exist in the Quran. So my question to you, did the Prophet ﷺ made it up? Did the Prophet tell the people, you know what, guys, you should face al-Masjid al-Aqsa? And then Allah Azza wa Jalla tell them, no, change to Mecca. Or was there another revelation?
Hold on, there is a verse that says, Allah says, if you turn your faces to the east and the west, Allah...
I'll give you the reference. I don't like to go around. I'll give you the exact reference of what I'm talking about. Chapter 2 of the Quran, starting from 142. I'll just give you now the context, and let's see. You have your Quran with you or no?
My phone, yeah.
Get your Quran, maybe you have your Quran, isn't it? Okay.
What chapter? Verse?
Surah Baqarah, verse 142, starting from 142. Let's read what the Quran says. Because you read it 4 times, so we can see. I don't know, you missed this.
This is not fair. You need to be on a level playing field with me. You can't raise yourself above by making
I'm not raising myself
silly comments.
I'm not raising myself above.
Dig a hole and stuff. It's not about home, it's about facts. Can you get facts?
I'm telling you, 143. Let's talk about the facts now. Read 143.
Speech. 143?
143, read it.
Right.
He's taking it personally, that's why.
And so we made you a moderate nation, that you may be witness over humanity, and that the messenger may be a witness over you. And we only establish the direction of prayer, which you once followed, that we may distinguish those who follow the messenger from those who turn on their heels.
Can I stop here?
Right.
We once made, Allah is saying He made a previous direction to a qibla. He made it. وَمَا جَعَلْنَا الْقِبْلَةَ الَّتِي كُنْتَ عَلَيْهَا. Allah made a previous direction of prayer. Now
you
in the
said
next
Quds,
verse,
right? You said Quds before.
Sorry?
You talked about Quds.
we believe.
But it's not in here.
It's not in there.
Okay,
we believe from the Hadith. We don't take the Quran alone. I didn't say the Quran mentions Al-Quds. I said the Quran mentions the previous Qibla. So let's deal with that
again,
point.
It's an assumption.
No, let's deal with the point. Let's deal with the point now.
Right.
So can you answer me, where is that previous command of the Qibla in the Quran? By the way, that's the first question I'm asking you. There's many other questions, but that's the first question.
Well, God is telling you, are you saying where is the command God says turn towards the Qibla?
No, it's the next verse. I'm saying the first Qibla, which is this. That Allah said we have made the first Qibla as a test.
Right.
Where is the command of the first Qibla? In the Quran. In the only revelation, sorry, let me repeat it. In the only revelation, where is the command, the previous command of the Qibla?
I have not found it yet. I'm not saying I know everything. You're speaking as if I know everything.
Alhamdulillah, I know the full Quran and it's not there. Now, if you're claiming it's there,
no.
my brother, if you're claiming it's there, you can bring it.
You're saying the previous Qibla was Quds.
Leave Quds now.
No, but you make this point. You're saying
you know what? I retract the point.
Right.
I retract the point. You claiming I said Quds, I'm retracting the point. Now let's deal with the point. Let's not run away because I know you like to run away. Now, please tell me which is the previous Qibla.
You love these comments.
Why is the previous Qibla?
Okay.
Where is the previous Qibla?
Mentioned, yeah.
Where is the previous Qibla mentioned in the Quran?
Yeah, Allah said we commanded you before to follow a Qibla in the past.
Okay.
We said we made a previous command. That command is not the Quran. So where did that command come from? Did the Prophet make it up? What's Allah talking about here then?
There is another wahi.
Or there is another revelation.
Again, I can't say that I know.
No, we're not done, by the way. We're not done.
All right.
Okay. We're not. It's the first question, yeah?
Hadith Qudusiyya.
It's the first question.
But where does it say to find this information, go to a hadith or go to a sunnah or go somewhere else? Where does it say that? Okay, so you are making an assumption. No, we've already talked about this, bro.
No,
we've already talked about it. You're like 2 hours late.
Don't digress to him. Speak to me.
Yeah, I know, but I've got
I'm saying to you right now, I'm not concerned with what they say.
Okay.
I'm saying to you right now,
right.
I'm not said this is a hadith or this is this or that. I never made any claims. I asked you a question.
Okay.
We believe there's another revelation. That was my point. I'm saying this gives you clear-cut evidence that there is other revelation other than the Quran. What is the other revelation? We can discuss.
No, it's not clear-cut. You're saying this is clear-cut by making the assumption.
So answer me, where is the previous
Assumption
command?
is not clear-cut.
So where is the previous
assumption
command?
Is not evidence.
So where is the previous command?
Yes, but you're saying it's clear-cut. It's not clear-cut. It's just an assumption you're making.
It's not clear-cut. Tell me where is the previous command?
It's not clear-cut.
Not according to you. I don't agree. But where is the previous command?
Is the Quran only talking about a physical body and a physical presence in this life? I'll answer that because you kind of torpedoed me with this. Let me talk about this.
Okay, I'm going to stop torpedoing you. What do you want?
Right, so are we, when we face the Qibla, right? If you're facing a Qibla, picture it in this way. You are facing something with your physical body, as in it's a ritual. But when you turn and you face the right, when you turn into the right Qibla, when you face the right Qibla, which is the Qibla of Allah, when you face Allah, Allah says the east and the west is mine. Not word for word, but when He says turn to the east and the west, and there is Allah.
That's the argument.
No, what I'm saying, yes, but it doesn't prove his point either. He's using conjecture to try and disprove what I'm saying, but it doesn't prove your point either.
You are
so we are both
you're the expert. I'm talking to the expert who read the Quran 4 times, yeah? Let me just...
No, you can't say that, bro.
I
follow
the expert.
God's law.
Brother.
This is what I follow.
Okay, you follow God's law, so educate me.
So if you want to add to God's law...
Educate me. I'm an ignorant person who adds, right? I want you to educate me. Now here, Allah saying there's a previous command to the Qibla. Can you please inform me what is Allah talking about there?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
So how can we know?
How can you know?
Is the Quran? Is the Quran clear? Is the Quran clear?
You can't tell me.
Is the Quran clear?
The Quran is.
Does Allah say it's clear?
But just as you open a physics book to a year 7 child, he does not understand physics. Suppose you're arguing, so therefore I don't know them, but
to support me.
This is a biased talk. But anyway,
so let's go to chapter 3. Let's go to chapter 3.
Verse what?
1 to 4. Thank you. What does Allah say there?
when you said,
Yes.
right, so when you said to the believers, is it not enough for you that your Lord has reinforced you with 3,000 angels sent down?
Now, the Prophet here, this is in the past. Allah is saying, when you said to the believers that Allah is going to enforce you, he's talking about the battle there. Allah is going to enforce you with 3,000 angels. My question is, where did Allah tell the Prophet in the Quran that he's going to enforce him with 3,000 angels? Or did the Prophet made up this kind of story that there is Allah enforcing you with 3,000 angels? Where did the Prophet get this information from?
Very good. Yeah, that's good.
Where did Allah...
No.
Where did the Prophet
know? Where did the Prophet know?
Right.
Where did he get this information that Allah have supported the believers with 3,000 angels?
Where did he get this information?
Yes, which he was telling the people.
This was given to him. This was gifted to him.
Where is not in the Quran? We don't believe there's other revelation.
Hold on. How was the Quran given to Prophet Muhammad?
Wahi.
Through Angel Gabriel.
Right.
Through Angel Gabriel.
This is his. Look, the things that were given to Prophet Muhammad to give to us, as in humanity.
Which is what, other than the Quran? So you believe there is other revelation
now? No,
now?
I'm saying the Quran. The Quran that was given to the.
So where is the command of 3,000 angels in the Quran? Where did Allah tell the Prophet, I'm going to give you 3,000 angels?
It's in the past tense.
No, I'm saying, where did Allah tell him in the past tense, he's going to get 3,000 angels? So he know that, so he went to the believers and he told them. Now, where did the Prophet know? It's a simple question, my brother. How did the Prophet know that Allah have supported us with 3,000 angels in the battle? How did he know?
Again, like I said, I read.
Did he make it up? Did he make it up?
But it does not. This does not prove your point either.
Leave my point now. Answer the question. Answer the question.
What you're trying to say?
Do you believe?
Okay, guys. What is trying
now
to?
Now you're gonna talk to them, yeah?
Okay, because you're obviously in front of them. You're the one with the microphone.
I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
I don't have any microphones on right now, my brother.
You want one? I'll give you.
I didn't come for this.
I don't need microphones,
man. You guys obviously came for this.
Okay,
you're prepared with your stands and stuff. Anyway,
I just was spoken by, man. Stay for 30 minutes. I'm going. What do you mean prepared?
What you're trying to show others is if you follow.
Do I know the unseen? I know I'm going to meet a Qur'ani, going to speak to a Qur'ani. What prepared to what?
You want to kind of picture somebody who follows Quran and somebody follows the books that Allah has revealed is actually on the wrong path. That's what you're trying to.
But you don't follow the Quran. How can I not follow the Quran? Because the Quran, as I just said, demonstrates clearly that there is another revelation other than it, and it commands you to follow it, which is the hikmah. Now let me ask you. Now let's go to another topic now, because there's a variety of topics.
Yes, but it does not say the hikmah is the hadith or the sunnah of Muhammad. It does not say it.
It doesn't matter.
So neither of our points.
Can I explain something first?
You see, you keep jumping from point
about
to
the
point.
hikmah.
Let's forget this. There's a hole. Let's do this because.
So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What did we leave?
I don't know. You came into this conversation. I was talking to my brother.
So you're not happy me moving, and in the same time you're happy me moving.
You keep jumping points.
Is it my conversation or your conversation?
There are certain bits of knowledge that belongs to Allah. It's not with me. It's not with you.
You told me, how am I not following the Quran? That was your question to me, correct? I said to you, I'm going to demonstrate to you the hikmah. Now you're saying I'm running away from the topic. No, we're talking. Let's talk about the hikmah now. You said the hikmah is not the hadith. That was your claim, yeah? Now I'm asking you a question now. Is the hikmah the following things?
When we say hikmah, are we talking about wisdom or are we talking about teachings? Which one?
We're talking, Allah uses the word hikmah in the Quran. That's what I'm talking about.
And how is that translated? Again, my Arabic is not good. Translate that.
What I'm talking about right now is me and you, we're trying to understand what the hikmah is. So that's what we're trying to do now. I'm claiming is the hadith. You're claiming is something else.
No, but what does the word say? When the verse brother
hikmah in the Arabic language.
What does it mean? Does it mean wisdom? Right, wisdom. Thank you.
Hikmah in the Arabic.
Come on, we have to go with this translation because the world is.
Do you want me to answer?
The world is not an Arab world. No, the world.
I'm answering you. You want me to answer you?
The world.
You want me to answer you?
Let's go with it.
Okay, I'm answering you, but you're looking here and there. Talk to me. Yeah. Hikmah can come from two roots. Yeah. Hukm wa ihkam can mean that something is done perfectly, done done perfectly, or it can mean wisdom as well, or judgment or ruling. That's what all of these are meaning of hikmah. Now here, we're trying to understand which one of these meanings, what is the hikmah that Allah is talking about. Okay, so let me ask you 3 questions now. Is the hikmah, talking about the hikmah now, is the hikmah something which is revealed, coming down from Allah, revelation, other than the Quran? Because I'm claiming now that there is a revelation other than the Quran. Is the hikmah a separate revelation from the Quran? Is the hikmah something which is being taught to the people? It's a revelation coming down and it's being taught.
Is this one question or are these three separate?
It's one question about the hikmah.
Okay.
I want to see if the hikmah has these characteristics or not. I'm asking you, do you believe that?
So the first one was, is this divine revelation? Is that what you said?
Yes. Do you believe the hikmah is a divine revelation other than the Quran? Look, it's a very
other than the Quran.
Other than
no,
very clear.
No.
Okay. No, step by step. Do you believe the hikmah?
we have to go.
You can answer me. I'll let you answer once I make my question, man.
Okay.
Do you believe the hikmah is another revelation other than the Quran? Number one, first characteristics. Number two is being taught. And number three is something which is being said. Something which you talk, you say.
Okay,
It's not just a movement or this or
You're
that. It's a
asking me
speech.
what I believe.
I'm asking you, do you believe these
What I
three things
believe.
are the hikmah or not?
You're asking me what I believe.
Yes.
And I
as
think we are
someone
all-
who read the Quran 4 times.
Okay, you see you're coming back to these little
asking,
points
I
because
want to
you
know.
like to...
I found it interesting, but go ahead. Yes.
But why is that bad? You see, again, you're trying to make
I
it look
found it
like it's a
interesting,
bad
but go
thing.
ahead. Just go ahead.
Why is that a bad thing to read the Quran 4 times? Why is it so negative?
It's not a bad thing.
You're showing
It's a
it
good
as
thing.
negative.
It's a good thing.
Okay, so why are you not saying it in a positive way?
I'm saying it a positive
No,
way.
you're saying it
I'm
negatively,
I'm
brother.
saying, I'll tell you why I'm saying it in a
The
positive
hole in
way.
the ground and the 4 times, I'm a professor.
Can I tell you why I'm
Brother,
saying
like
I'm a
everybody here,
professional.
like everybody,
Okay,
let me speak. Let me speak. You asked me a question, let me speak. I believe we are all going to be judged by the same God.
Okay.
Okay? And everything that is being told to us, if you don't do it, you're going to have to answer why you don't do it. Now, if you personally, right now, in your heart believe that you are following the hadith or the sunnah and you are on the right path, then Allah is forgiving and merciful. He will understand because you believe it. But if I'm telling you right now, the hikmah, first thing you said, what is hikmah? What is it? Right? Is it something other than the Quran? No.
I didn't say that.
It cannot be. No, the first question said, is it something other than the Quran?
Is that revelation other than the Quran?
Right,
Be
revelation.
clear. My question is very
Right,
clear.
okay, that's why I said we start doing multiple points. We do one by one.
So you say no.
Right,
Leave them. Stay with me.
it's distracting.
No problem. Leave them.
You're saying, is it divine revelation other than the Quran? No, the hikmah or the wisdom is granted or gifted by Allah. In my belief, don't quote, I'm not quoting the Quran. My belief is that if you are on the right path, Allah will grant you understanding of the verses. Like you just mentioned to me, where does it talk about angels? Where does it talk about the Qibla being, okay,